Hello, Sam-ariffic Science fans! I wanted to make this video for a while, but unfortunately I haven't yet. Until today, we're going to learn about something the size of a football field floating in space. Today we're going to unfold the world of the International Space Station. So I'm going to have to start off with a sad announcement. The International Space Station, or ISS, will re-enter Earth's atmosphere in 2031, 5 years from now. The ISS was launched in 1998, floating 408 kilometers over Earth for 27 years. By 2031, it will have been up there for 32 years. That alone sounds insane and like the ISS should come down, but there's more. It's unsafe. While yes, the technology is able to be repaired, some non-repairable things are already showing signs of old age. The way that NASA plans to do this will be super cool. NASA wants to keep the crew on board for as long as they can. The crew will probably leave 6 months prior to re-entry. They will bring anything important down from the ISS, such as computers. NASA is going to partner with SpaceX to bring it down. As I said, the ISS is the size of a football field. If this were to go wrong, it could greatly devastate the area it does land. NASA will launch up a vehicle specially made to deorbit the ISS, made by SpaceX, and based off of SpaceX's Dragon spacecraft design. This will be called the USDV. Upon entering the atmosphere once more, the ISS will burn up. However, parts of it will not burn up because they were designed not to in case of a fire in space. These parts will enter the spacecraft graveyard, a remote part of the Pacific Ocean where both NASA and SpaceX-made spacecraft that have since re-entered the atmosphere have landed. But there is more to talk about of the ISS than its downfall. Literally, downfall. The ISS is in low Earth orbit, meaning that it orbits faster than something in high space orbit. If you were on the moon, you could see the sun set and rise once every 2 weeks. But on the ISS, you'll see it 16 times a day, about once every 90 minutes. If there is one thing I love seeing, it's animals doing cool things. Oh yeah, and countries working together. Like when Canada and Mexico sent their fire planes to LA during the wildfires during World War II, when London's Houses of Parliament were bombed, and all the Commonwealth sent supplies to help rebuild. Canada gave Canadian oak that was made into a table, Australia gave black beam wood that was made into a chair, and so on. Another good example is the ISS. The US and Russia both built their half of the space station. I'll explain more about that later. Canada sent the Canadarm. Japan gave the JEM, also known as Kibo. The European Space Agency brought their continent together to give the Columbus Laboratory Module, and so on. The Canadarm is a long robotic arm that's controlled by astronauts aboard the ISS. Sometimes they even grab spaceships with them to help bring them in. And the JEM and Columbus Laboratory are modules dedicated to experiments. I said that Russia and the US both built their half of the space station. What does that mean? At NASA, there are mostly Russian and American astronauts. Both these countries speak different languages, so to be an astronaut, you must be able to speak both. But there are still other reasons to keep these nationalities separated. So each half of the space station basically has the same things. They both have airlocks, labs, etc. Like the Hubble and James Webb telescopes, the ISS is powered by solar panels. Its solar panels are always moving to be facing the sun because, as I'm sure you can imagine, it takes a lot of power to run the ISS. For the astronauts to get power, they have to sleep in sleeping bags attached to the wall so that they don't float away. Some other things the astronauts have to do include exercise. Because of the lack of gravity, astronauts don't get to use their muscles very much, so they have a whole room dedicated to exercise. For things like a treadmill, though, you need to be strapped down. Scientists are working on figuring out how to grow food in space, but for now, astronauts don't get fresh fruit or veggies. They have to eat special space food. Anyway, that's about all for this video, Sam-ariffic Science fans. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. I want to go to the ISS.